Hello, NACA family. This is Rick Cazeau. I'm a Central Florida broker with Orlando Real Estate Consultants, and we've been dealing with NACA for quite some time. And today we're going to take the opportunity to see how the impact of these short sales and bank foreclosures has affected some of the Central Florida areas. Currently now we're on the west side of town. I'm going to give you a couple of examples of some of the pain that's felt in some of these communities, starting with your older Florida-style communities, going up to the mid-range communities, as well as the communities that builders went in and built these brand new structured homes. So we're going to get a feel for everything that has affected this market. This is a property that definitely represents your standard older Florida-style home for Central Florida, with the carport is roughly about 900 square feet, 3-bedroom, one bath floor plan. When I first got in the industry, right about 1994, and I was a baby sucking my thumb, I guess, these homes were selling anywhere between $60,000 and $70,000. During the hype of the market 4 or 5 years later, this house was commanding almost $280,000, $290,000. When you take a community where majority of the employment for this community is your industry people working at Disney, porters, housekeepers, and things of that nature, a $280,000, $300,000 house isn't possible to qualify for financing. Okay, and this is what NACA has always complained about: is you have the subprime lenders that came in and was offering people financing at 100%. So now they were buying these houses at $300,000, which is overpriced. At $300,000, they were doing 80-20 mortgages. Okay, some were even doing interest only or negative amortizations, which means they weren't even paying towards the principal, and you had interest accruing each and every month. So at the end of the term of these mortgages, when they balloon, thus you have this: people just walk away from their homes. But these Florida-style homes with the carports, any house that you see as driving past that you don't see the pride of ownership, or you see issues with the lawn maintenance or what have you, 9 out of 10 times is a vacant home that's been affected by this particular market. Some of these homes, investors or homeowners had completely given up on them, turned around, rent them out to renters that are no longer paying. So this, again, when you have a situation with properties, that are depreciating the way they've depreciated in this market, it's a big problem. People just give up. Okay, so in effect, the crime rate went up dramatically once this market actually crashed. It was night and day. And now, furthermore, you had so many vacant properties sitting on the market. You had an influx of people breaking into these houses for the purpose of stealing supplies, copper, granite, the fixtures. I've seen one house that they stripped down to the point where they took the glass out the front door. Now, when you have a transient neighborhood where people are moving in and out, you really don't have people complaining on certain issues. You don't have people bringing up certain issues. The schools are pretty much having to not only facilitate themselves at school, but they're also having to discipline children, and you just don't have that good old, the cleavers, everybody knows everybody, and people are involved in their schools because their focus is survival. Okay, we don't know if we're going to have a roof over our heads tomorrow, so unless there's something dramatic going on with the children, they're not participating in the school situation. Right now, if I go into the MLS system, which is the multiple listing service that realtors use to locate homes for buyers, chances are the MLS is going to be dominated with 2 types of houses on the market. One will be short sales. That's, of course, folks that are trying to negotiate with their banks to accept lower payoffs on the houses that they currently own, and REOs, which is bank-owned properties. Very, very seldom. I want to say in the last 3 years, I think I've sold one house. We average anywhere between 15 and 20 transactions per agent per month. And out of all of that volume, in the last 2 to 3 years, I think we've sold one house where an actual owner owned the house. This community right here is called Rosemont. And as you can see, these homes they're older homes as well. This used to be the pride and joy the pride and joy of West Orlando. If we all remember, good old Elvis Presley had a home in this community. It's a golf course community on a lake, and you can see the style of homes. It's not your cookie cutters. Even this section right here, this is their townhouse section right here, just absolutely gorgeous. Landscaping in the whole 9 yards. When I do a U-turn, you're going to see the same effect. For every 5 to 6 houses, you have 3 of them that's been affected by this foreclosure market. In this community, these houses were going up to $450,000 to $500,000 because of the ambiance and the lake and what have you.
And how much are they going for now?
Now you're ranging anywhere from $99,000 to $180,000.
Wow.
Now, in a community like this, you have a very strong homeowners association, which is something else that we need to talk about because they've been greatly affected in this market as well. So in a community like this, the homeowners association will typically come in and do basic maintenance so the house doesn't look in disarray. But if we look on this side here, you're going to notice the percentage of the houses. And again, this is the next price range of homes community-wise. This house right here, I know for a fact, is in trouble. This house right here is fine. Okay. This house right here would be a good example of a homeowner being in trouble or an investor that went over its head because of the market. If you can see the wood damage. This home right here, good shape. This home right here, this one, I got a car coming behind me here. Let's go ahead and let them pass. Ironically, this next house that we're going to pass here, it's had a hard time with foreclosures in a good market, and in a bad market, the new owners seem to be doing okay. This next house here, pride of ownership. The next couple of houses are going to be examples of houses that are affected by the market. Okay, so you have this one here, the one next to it.
Those are vacant?
Some are vacant. Some are just what they do is they just throw tenants in there until the house is completely foreclosed upon, so they can try and recoup some of their losses. This house right here, that's an example of homes with tenants. This is pride of ownership. This house here, pride of ownership, no issues there. This house, again, I think it's a tenant situation. I'm not too familiar with it, but again, if you can see, no pride of ownership, that's typically a tenant situation. Same thing with this house here. And we get to the last house on the block, pride of ownership, no issues there. So here's a community where you have the income bracket is a lot higher than the first community that we went into. The rental rate is the same because of the market. So in other words, you have homeowners that are having to just rent these houses out because they can't afford to do anything with them. Because of this particular community has what's known as neighborhood watches, which is the sign that we just passed. Yes, there's definitely an increase, but not as bad as, let's say, the community that we first went through, where you just don't have the neighborhood participation. So, but yeah, it has increased. It's increased everywhere. Even in your higher price range areas, it's increased. I've taken you guys to the other side of town. We're still on the west side of town, but we're in the backyard of the greats, Shaquille O'Neal, Dwight Howard, and a couple of other NBA players and movie stars. And this is a community that the developers came behind and actually put in some houses that you can get some good starter prices. As you can see, here's another example of a house that's been affected by the market. And this is a community where homes are selling in excess of $12, $13, $14 million. Hey guys, I want you guys to take a walk with me. Take a look at this. You can get a shot of the area, the neighborhood here. See the pride of ownership, this beautiful community, as I mentioned, right behind Shaq's house. We're currently in a subdivision in Windermere, okay? And Windermere, by the way, happens to be Shaq's backyard. Shaq's 60,000 square foot palace is right around the corner from these homes right here. And I want you to understand that in a market like this, we've still been affected to where this house right here sits right in the middle of a foreclosure situation. This probably fell into the 80-20, and I haven't done the research on this, but I bet you money this is one of the homes that, as I was talking about earlier, that's got the 80-20 situation. You can see that the folks have just moved out or vacated. You've got the tables here. You've got the deferred maintenance that they let the yard grow. The association typically will come in and try to assist with this, but this is another example of a community that you just wouldn't normally find something like this. And yes, it happens here too.